So today I'm super happy to be back as one of my favourite ever cards has been reprinted for Foundations, so of course I'm going to try and use it in a typically unconventional manner. Hey everyone, Hex here, and today I've got a beatdown deck that I went unbeaten in against a whole variety of decks. Firstly though, if you'd all be so kind as to drop a like on the video and subscribe below if you haven't for future Foundation brews. There is now so much variety in Standard, I don't even know what to think sometimes, but onto this deck, and if you've never had the pleasure before, I want to introduce you to Krenko Mob Boss. So Krenko is a 4-mana 3/3 goblin that taps to create X 1/1 goblins, where X is the amount of goblins you control. This commander favourite is also a beast in Standard, but today I'm going to try and take it one further and throw Krenko's ability onto multiple creatures we control. To do that, I'm going to use my old favourite in Agatha's Soul Cauldron. With Krenko exiled under it, all goblins with +1/+1 counters on them can now double goblins. This gets very wild very quickly, and in testing it went crazy. I'm playing the Tunnel Grinder to get Krenko's discarded and to draw some cards, or you can just wait for those discard decks or removal spells you're bound to face to get Krenko into your graveyard the old-fashioned way. The rest of the deck are goblins, many goblins. The two new ones though I have are Dropkick Bomber, which is a 2/3 3-mana goblin lord that says you get to pay 1 red mana to give a target goblin flying until end of turn, but you have to sacrifice it when it deals combat damage. Stay till the end to see how this card can work against board stalls. I've also got Searslicer Goblins. These are such cool cards as they create goblins in your end step if you've attacked this turn. This thing churns out tokens turn after turn. There is a small pirate sub-theme with Breeches, Fanatical Firebrand and Reckless Lackey. They all work together to push damage, create treasure and exile cards that we can play later on. We have some non-pirates with Squee, Hordemaster and Firebrand, with Witchstalker Frenzy as our removal of choice. 23 lands, and that is the deck. So this deck was super cool and super fun to play. It's both aggro, but also pretty grindy. There's so many little cool synergies and plays you can make when you have your Cauldron down, and I didn't end up losing. I am sure there are so many other cards you can play to match your style, but today I was very happy with this particular one. Let me know in the comments below what you think and if you have any decks you like from Foundations. Also like, subscribe and sit back and see how I got on today with Krenko's Cauldron army. Alright then, on the draw here. Let's mulligan that. Wow. 2 Krenkos, 2 Cauldrons. I should have kept that first hand. At least we had something to do on turn 1. Oh well. Dropkick Bomber for us, and opponent is on Selesnya, it looks like. But we'll go for the Cauldron here whilst we're under no real pressure. Not really sure what we're up against yet. Rabbits. Alright. Might be a bit of a tough matchup. We need to try and get Krenko onto the battlefield as soon as possible. Squee's nice, it can make a token, so we'll play that and attack. Put some pressure on our opponent here. So mindful that we need to try and keep as many goblins on the battlefield as possible, but knowing that we just need a land here to get Krenko onto the battlefield, start making loads of goblins, or discarding the Krenko and getting it under Cauldron, or even if Krenko dies from the battlefield, opponent decided not to block, so we do get that extra goblin which survives, but could be under a bit of pressure here. Okay, let's recruit. Sure. And Breeches. Huh. So there is a mini sort of pirate theme in this deck. I like the idea of the bomber here. I still want to attack with Squee. Make another 2/2. Yeah, they just taken it down to 12. Bomber has won me a couple of games actually today by just playing red mana to give some of your goblins flying. They do sacrifice at the end of turn, but that's not an issue. Toby beastie for our opponent. They're getting in there with a lot of tokens here. I'm going to make a block. Hopefully they just didn't realise that they attacked with the recruit there. Okay, it's smite on my bomber, fair enough. Save 2 damage, but we do lose our bomber. But they would have smited anyway when we attacked, so it's not the end of the world. And Grinder. Alright, well we're going to play this. We're going to drop Krenko into the graveyard. I really just want to hit a land and a 1-drop now. Plenty of 1-drops, no land, but we now have Krenko in the graveyard. So we can use our Cauldron here to eat that Krenko. And then we can make 4 goblins. That's if we don't die. 3 blind mice. Okay, I mean, this is strong from our opponent here. This is a lot of damage in the air. I'm going to need to try and soak up as much as possible. I'll go down to 1 if I have to. We are down to 1. Opponent GG's me. I don't know. Have they GG'd me because they think they're going to win? Because I think I'm about to win here. Alright, let's name Goblin here. And we can get aggro. So there is a way you can put sort of haste giving in this deck. That is something you can do. Let's go for the massive aggressive attack. I don't know if this is enough damage. What have they got? Oh, another smite on my Squee. Well, we can save that, can't we, by just exiling one of our creatures from our graveyard. No idea if this is enough damage. They've got 2 blockers back. They can block my 4-1 and my 3-3. Yeah. See how this one goes. I can already see this is enough damage, and we got there. That early block from our bomber saved us. What a close game. Alright then, on the play, and this is a decent hand with our grinder and our mob boss. We just need to find a soul cauldron, but we'll lead off with our scamp. Bit of a value card, this one. We're not playing too much removal in the deck, but it's a way to actually remove some of our opponent's threats. They play a freebooter, so we'll just go for our Hordemaster. And no attacks just yet. I don't want to give them a treasure and make them play a 3-mana spell on turn 2. They are Golgari. We can just go wide and just try and attack them all in one go. So, yeah, loving Foundation so far. I just like these cards that have been added to Standard, and they just... There's so many archetypes that are going to be around for so long. Deep Cavern Bat to look into my hand. A little bit annoying. Would prefer to discard spell, but they do go for the grinder from us, which is definitely probably the right play. There's our bomber, which is a nice card because we can actually play it. The question is, do I want to start attacking now? If we attack, they block with that freeboot and they go land Shelly. It's going to be a little bit annoying, but... Ooh, they've gone for a double block on my Hordemaster. You know, I didn't expect that, but that's fine. Lots of triggers here. Freebooter triggers, Hordemaster's trigger. And probably not going to sacrifice my Scamp just yet. We have a Firebrand next turn. Go for the throat my bomber. Okay. Alright, now we're left with just a Scamp. Alright, here's one of my favourite new cards. Searslicer Goblin. Just a way to refuel the board, basically. It has raid. At the beginning of your end step, if you've attacked this turn, you make a 1-1 Goblin. So you can keep chucking your Goblins at your opponent. Even if they die, they just... Well, even if one dies, it replaces itself. There's Sheoldred. Alright. And there is a Reckless Lackey. Alright, I'm going to go for a... Might be a crazy play. But let's go and get rid of the Krenko, Mob Boss, and Lackey. I really want an Agatha's Soul Cauldron. Could have played Krenko there. I don't think it's going to survive against Mono Black, so... Maybe I should have played Krenko. I don't know. Yeah, we're learning it. Maybe I should have played Krenko, and if it died, it's fine. We did take some damage from Sheoldred. Dread Knight, okay. Gain life, basically. Yeah, but I'm pretty sure a Cauldron here for the win. We can still play this Mob Boss from my hand if I want to. Alright, this is what our deck's trying to do. Now, up against board wipes and things, it's a little bit annoying. But now we can go super, super wide. We can race this Sheoldred. They can't really attack me at the moment. We've got, what, like 4 turns? Another Dread Knight. Okay. We just got to go wide and try and get enough damage through. Another goblin. I really want a Cauldron. This would go wild if we had a Cauldron. Yeah, no attacks. We're just going to go wide to try and get enough damage through. We've got a couple more turns to do that. Now, they might wipe the board, which would be really annoying. Not too concerned about their life gain. Alright. You going to attack? No? Alright, well, we're going to make, what, 7 goblins here? 7 2/2s. Draw another card. It's Breeches, okay. I don't think we've got enough damage to win the game this turn, but we're still on 6 life, so it's not the end of the world. I can't play the grinder though, because we can't draw any more cards from with shouldered on the battlefield. What have they got in their hand though? I'm going to have to probably attack next turn. Opponent, what you got? Yeah, this just shows if we had the Cauldron on the battlefield, it's an obliterator, okay. If we had the Cauldron on the battlefield, then we could just turn one of these other creatures into another Krenko. But so be it. So, obliterator for our opponent. They're hovering over my cards. Maybe a fight spell here, which isn't particularly that bothersome. Yes, Bushwhack. Alright, let's make a ton of goblins before my creature dies, and we can just get rid of the lands. Because I'm going to attack next turn. Oh, that was annoying. Alright, 2 lands left for us. Opponent doesn't really have any attacks. Draw our Cavern and lose 2 life, and I think it's about time we swing out. 23 2/2s, a 4/4. So I mean, we could make a whole bunch more tokens, but there's no need right now. Just counting out the damage, more than enough. An opponent scoops it up. Yeah, Krenko for the win. All right then, on the play. Yeah, not bad. We have a Soul Cauldron. We have a Witchstalker Frenzy, one of the only removals in the deck. I mean, we've got some creatures that can remove other creatures. So we'll name Goblin, though, with our Cavernier and play our Scamp. Scamp's a card that I think could probably be cut. Duress, okay. Maybe more of a control game. Or just a discard deck. Against discard, we might be okay if we can start making goblins. That's the point, because we can refuel pretty quickly, and a lot of our cards are pretty cheap. Cut down on our Scamp, okay. 2 damage to our opponent, and it's a Squee. Alright, so we just need a land really, and Duress is going to nick that Frenzy from us. So yeah, up against discard or mono black control. Ooh. Searslicer Goblin's a nice card. Yeah, that's better, isn't it? We just play that, attack with the Hordemaster, make ourselves a 2/2 it'll be. Okay, we do lose the Squee. We are only on 2 mana though. Definitely looks like mono black. Another removal spell, deals with the Hordemaster. And that was the land. Here is another land. Let's just go for it. Play out our hand. So if they've just got discard spells in their hand, it's fine. We don't have anything to discard. But this just goes to show how this Searslicer Goblin's so good. Bloodletter. And there's a Frenzy. Nice. Just making sure it can kill the Bloodletter, which it can. So it looks like they're probably a combo deck. We're going to make another 1/1. No point sacking the Scamp just yet. Yeah, I mean, this is a proper beatdown here. Opponent with removal spells, but they just can't keep up with us. So there we go, Duress. They don't have anything to do. And there's our Krenko, and opponent scoops it up. That was pretty nice beatdown from the Goblins there. On the play here. Pretty decent hand, this one. No 1-drop, though. It would have been nice, a hasty 1-drop. into a goblin turn 2, but or just any 1-drop really, but so be it. Put it with a Fabled Passage. Okay. So let me know if you have any decks from Foundations. I don't mind playing combo decks, but I'm trying to find something a little bit more on the janky side. So let me know if you see any. I do like Cauldron, so always looking out for options with that particular card. We do find our Reckless Lackey now. I'm going to go for the Goblin here, the Searslicer Goblin. This could well be killed, but at least it means we can attack next turn and potentially play the Soul Cauldron. But we find a Mountain, okay. Up against a white deck. We'll play the Lackey here and attack our opponent and make a 1-1. Play the Cauldron. So it's a pretty decent start for us. Just looking for a way to discard this Krenko. Opponent is mono white and yeah, temporary lockdown. I mean, that is a bit of a nemesis for our deck. That just eats our whole board. Squee is a decent follow-up play. Attack the opponent, make another 1-1. They're down to 14. This is very aggro from us. This is the kind of mono red deck I like to play. We're not just trying to win on turn 2 and turn 3. There is a method to our madness. Hit the opponent here again. We're going to be playing Krenko, so I'm not playing the Hordemaster now. This is a must-answer threat for our opponent here. Krenko's going to churn out goblins. No easy way to give haste in our deck, or no way to give haste. I mean, you can add that, I just didn't want to. Yeah, opponent's seen enough. They don't have enough removal. Nice. Alright then, on the play. Pretty nice hand. Bunch of 1-1s, or 1-drops, and a Searslicer Goblin. So let's go for the Scamp. Definitely a card that could be replaced. I just wanted a kind of a value card in the 1-mana slot. Opponent with a Vanguard, so potentially a cat deck. Who knows? We'll get in there with a Scamp. Scamp is not a card I care too much about, but this does turn on a raid. So we get to play our Searslicer Goblin here and make ourselves a 1-1. Okay. So up against 2 planes, Helpful Hunter. So maybe it is just cats, which is fine. Helpful Hunter, a 1-1 that draws a card when it enters the battlefield. Really could do with some kind of Lord effect to give our creatures extra toughness, as they do die pretty badly to these 1-power creatures. The Cauldron is nice. I wish we had a... In fact, if we had a Krenko in our hand, we could just play Grinder, ditch the Krenko, and then Cauldron, and then I think that would be game over. Let's get in there with our 1-1. They don't know what we've got, but this is just triggering the raid off the Searslicer Goblin. Let's play the Grinder here and just get rid of the 2 little 1-drops. Okay. I guess we're just going to go wide. Another Searslicer Goblin is pretty cool. Opponent does name Cat with their 3-tree city, and it is Sky Knight Squire. If I can, I'll remember to put these cards up on the board. That is a Witchstalker Frenzy for us. So our deck here is pretty aggro. I think it's really good in best of 1, but also I feel like it's pretty resilient as well. We rebuild quickly. It's difficult to get through. We do have a problem with flying creatures, but you can't win them all. We'll get in there with our 1-1 here. Okay, they're just taking it, sure. Let's go Mountain into the other Searslicer. Make 2 1-1s in our end step. Yeah, we just need a Hordemaster here just to pump up our team, and then we can start jamming for loads. I'm a little bit scared of the cat deck in the fact that it does kind of go off pretty quickly. That is a roaming throne. Alright, well, here's a little cool little play. Let's eat our Firebrand from our graveyard, and then we can use one of these tokens, sacrifice it to get rid of this Squire before Roaming Throne enters the battlefield. Yeah, I didn't really think about Roaming Throne. We could pop that into this Goblin deck if you want to. It might be a little bit overkill. I'm going to play the Mountain here. Could have held it back in case we find another Tunnel Grinder. But I think if we just find a Krenko now, we're just playing it, so... We'll get in there with a few of our 1/1s, get rid of this roaming throne, and trigger our Searslicer Goblins again. So even if they block one of my 1/1s, we're actually going to get 2 back. Yeah, these Searslicers are good. In a sort of aggressive game, they're really nice. Alright, our opponent appears to have disconnected, which is a shame because I really kind of like our setup here. Oh no, they're back. They are back with a Cavern of Souls, naming cat. 5 mana for them. Yeah, we are going to need to find a way to get through their cats. They do play Regal Carousel, so yeah, this is going to create 2 1/1s that are also going to get +1/+1 because of the Carousel is a Lord and lifelink, and they do get in there with their Helpful Hunter. Okay. I do want to kill this. So let's block with one of our 1/1s and use our Cauldron here to boost its power and toughness. Let's just eat, I don't know, the Squire from the graveyard. So opponent back up to 16. Dropkick Bomber. Alright, alright. This is a weird old card. I was really scared about putting this one in my deck. But you know what? This could be the mirror breaker. Well, not really the mirror breaker, but the game breaker here. We're at a bit of a standstill, especially with their lifelinkers. But Dropkick Bomber can give flying to our creatures. So let's get in there with some of our goblins. They're showing they're not really attacking. They're not really blocking. They're a little bit scared, I think, of the Cauldron. I do want to get these 2 2/2s out of the way, really. So it wouldn't be the end of the world if they just blocked. But don't forget, we're going to replace these goblins with 2 more. And also, the Dropkick Bomber is a Lord. So everything has a +1/+1 on our side. Yeah, they just take the damage. I'd like to see that. They're down to 12. Next turn, we can use our Dropkick Bomber to give several of our creatures flying. Yeah, we should have lethal next turn. Definitely have lethal next turn. If they can leave if my bomber survives. Oh, I guess they could attack with their pair of tokens, which would boost them up to 16. We'll see how this turn plays out. But yeah, I mean, I don't know if they've read the bomber. So I always like to try and put a card in your deck to deal with weaknesses. And one of our weaknesses is definitely flying. Another kind of weakness is up against tokeny go wide strategies. Opponent with a Sky Knight Squire, sure. Another lifelinker though. Alright. What you got, opponent? They're worried about my Cauldron here. Prideful Parent's going to make it'll be a 2/2, I guess. So loads of lifelink. I think this is our one chance to try and win the game. Are they going to attack? No, they don't. Okay, let's just... I guess we can eat one of our... I guess we'll just eat the Lackey here. It has an activated ability. It doesn't really matter. Yep, Mountain, and that should be lethal. Wait, it says another target goblin. Oh wow, can't even target itself. Oh wow, I kind of misread that card. Okay. Well, luckily we drew a land. This is going to be enough for lethal here. 6 in the air. 7, 8. 9, 10. 11, 12. And... Okay, I'm going to stop the video here because I want to explain that I should have attacked with another goblin here. I thought I only had 5 red mana to play with, but Agatha's Soul Cauldron says that you can use colour of any mana to activate abilities on creatures you control, which is a very strange line of text I don't think I've seen before, but it meant that I could use the Fountainport to activate Dropkick Bomber. Should have attacked with another creature just in case they had a removal spell, but yeah, just thought I'd explain that because I saw that after editing. Alright, get in there with our flying goblins, and that is Xaxes, and that is goblins beating the cats.